Shotgun snap. Vance drops back looking left. He's going to throw to the corner of the end zone for Felix.
Oh, yeah.
He goes up. He grabs it.
Yes.
Touchdown, Fresno City.
Atta baby.
He's going to fake the handoff, fire a slant, complete to English, who slips a tackle down the middle of the field. He will go to the house. Touchdown, Fresno City. Marquez will show the handoff. Sinfield bouncing off to the left side, takes it inside the 10, turns up into the end zone.
Nice job.
Touchdown, Fresno City. From the ARC 37, it's a screen pass out to the left. Open room for Colbert down the left side, down the sideline, cuts back at the 10, into the end zone. Touchdown, Fresno City. A 37-yard screen pass. He is going to hand up the middle, and he's got room. Into the end zone goes Dante Hendrington, right up the middle. Touchdown, Fresno City.
Yeah.
All right, we're back for another week of the Fresno City Football Report. As always, joined by the head coach of the Rams, Tony Caviglia, and a freshman defensive tackle, Jack Nelson. Tell me a little bit about Jack, our guest here today, Coach.
Yeah, Jack is a defensive lineman out of Clovis East High School and played a tremendous game Saturday. Fun watching him play, run around, I see a football player getting better each week, and we're excited to watch his progress.
Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit more about your journey to Fresno City and kind of how you ended up there, and maybe your time at Clovis East as well as we go on with the show. But Coach, let me ask you about the win over American River. You guys are now 2-1 on the season, a 42-28 win Saturday at Ratcliffe Stadium. You guys jumped out to a big lead in the first half. I believe it was 28-7 at one point. The offense was really clicking early, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought we played good on offense. Not great. We still lift a lot of plays out there, but this team's getting better each week. We talked early in the season with 63 freshmen. We knew we were going to make progress each week and get better each week, and we played a lot better than we played against Sierra, and hopefully there's a lot more to gain from these guys.
You've been playing multiple quarterbacks here early in the season. There's 5 non-conference games in junior college football. Last 5 are conference games. As I said, you guys are through 3 games now, and all 3 quarterbacks that you played, 4 quarterbacks, in fact, that you played on Saturday. Peyton Van Worth got in late in the game as well. I'm talking about Yajay Vance, who's been the guy who's been starting games for you and has played well this season. David Marquez, sophomore out of Central High School. And then Christian English, the athletic QB from Texas. They all played on Saturday, and they all played well. Yajay led a couple touchdown drives in the first half. Marquez led a couple touchdown drives in the first half. And then Christian came in and just kept it rolling. Yeah,
it was good to see. Each one of those guys has a different tool set. We're fortunate to have some depth at the quarterback position. I want to play some number of quarterbacks early in the season just to kind of get a feel for what they can do in a game situation, and what their skill sets are, and how we can tailor the offense when they're in there, and I think that puts a little bit of pressure on the defense, seeing a different quarterback and different guy in there and having to adjust maybe calls and that type of stuff. And I've never played 4 quarterbacks. In 30 years of being a head football coach, I've never played 4 quarterbacks, so that was a first for us Saturday. And they practice hard like everybody else on the team, and they play the most important position on the team. So it's good to be able to have some depth there and have some guys we can go with.
Yeah, Yajay was 6 of 8. David Marquez 4 for 4 throwing. Christian English 1 for 3, and they also did some stuff with their legs as well. They can all move, and they are probably a handful, right, Jack, to deal with at practice.
Yes, sir.
What's that like? When you're going up against each other, in practice, and I know there's some competition going on there. Defense versus offense, but. Going up against this Fresno City offense in particular, how does that make you better?
It makes me better because, like you said, there's a lot of competition. Especially during camp before the season, the only people we go against are the other offense, and every single day it's so competitive. During practice, we hated each other. The offense, defense hated each other. It's always so competitive. We go 100%. As soon as we got those pads on, it was full go. We're going 100%. We're getting each other better all the time because our offensive line, in my opinion, I think we're really good.
Yeah.
And it's always, if I want to beat them, if I want to get better, I have to go 100% against them, and it's vice versa. And I truly think that our offense, how good it is, I think it just gets us better because we're always competitive, like you said, and we're always going 100%.
Iron sharpening iron, right? As coaches like to say. Coach, Jack just kind of seems to me, after watching the game tape from American River, like one of those guys whose motor just never stops, right? I mean, the Energizer Bunny. Is there a comp somewhere, with some maybe a well-known athlete or football player that you can think of who kind of plays like Jack Nelson?
There is, and I don't think your listeners will ever remember Russell Maryland from University of Miami.
I remember him.
Very similar. He's a 3 technique in the 4-3, and he was an amazing college football player and virtually unblockable. And this guy's like a thorn in our side. I mean, he's always in the way. And when Russell Maryland played, he was a pretty amazing guy. But that's a name for the past right there.
Absolutely. No,
but that's how he played. And you should look him up. You've probably never heard of Russell Maryland. No. Look him up. And I think Jack loves football. You can tell it in his voice. He loves the game, and we got a lot of guys on our team that just love the game of football. I mean, Scott, you just can't make it in junior college if you don't just love football. I mean, because none of these guys are on scholarship. They're playing for the love of the game, and he's the epitome of that.
Yeah, just kind of recapping the game a little bit more as well from Saturday. The Rams, again, moving to 2-1 on the season. Of course, you can catch all their games on 940 Kino. I do the games on the radio. I've enjoyed it. This past weekend, Tim Slack filled in nicely for me on the radio call. And then the home games as well are broadcast, correct, on CMAC TV. And I believe they're streamed here on our KC24 CBS 47 app as well. So you can follow along all season with Fresno City football. And, of course, each week here, we drop the Fresno City football report on the app as well. But one real positive, I think, Coach, coming out of the game, in addition to the play of the quarterbacks and the receivers made some big plays as well, was that you kind of rediscovered that running game that you've kind of hung your hat on over the years. You guys finished with 338 yards on the ground in this game and a host of running backs getting it done. That had to be nice to see.
Yeah, it's good to see our depth at that position, the running back position, and the quarterbacks have a piece of that. We're really trying to run the quarterback a little bit more this year. But, at every level of football, I believe you have to run the football to win on offense. And even the great Oregon teams that everybody thought was just they were throwing the ball and going through, they were running the football. And, you watch college football today, everybody's running the football in some way or another. And I think you have to do that to win in this game. And so, it's important for us to get that thing going, and finally it showed up Saturday. We have a marble plaque in our office when we rush for over 200 yards. We present that to the O-line and the running backs, and that's important. We haven't been able to get that this year yet, but we're gonna bring it out today, and those guys will be fired up.
Yeah, it's a great sign going forward for the Rams when they're able to pound the rock on the ground, and we're kind of seeing football at all levels kind of rediscover the running game, which is kind of interesting. They went with the spread offenses for a long time, right, throwing it all over the field, but suddenly I think people are getting back to old school football. We're seeing it with Fresno State a little bit as well with Matt Entz over there at Fresno State. And speaking of the Bulldogs, I wanted to ask you, Jack, because you played at Clovis East, right? Harold Duvall, true freshman, playing for the Dogs, right? Scored his first career touchdown against Southern over the weekend. How much do you pay attention to what Harold's doing? And have you talked to him since then? And what's that like? When you were brothers as high school teammates, and now you're playing at City, he's playing at Fresno State.
I don't talk to him that often, but it's awesome seeing him because I've known Harold since I was in 3rd grade because we played youth football together back when we were little kids. So I've known Harold for a long time. I've been friends with him for a long time, and it's amazing seeing people that I've known since I was a little kid do amazing things at the college football level. And it just makes me so happy knowing people, I knew that guy. I know that guy. He's my friend. And he's scoring touchdowns for the Fresno State Bulldogs, the team that I was watching. I've looked up to since I've been living here. I've always loved watching the Fresno State Bulldogs, watching Derek Carr. and seeing friends that I've known for years play and do great things for them, it's just amazing.
Did you always know that you wanted to be a football player? I mean, was it, do you have your dad play maybe? I mean, like, where does that aggression and that motor come from?
I was raised on football. That's just how I was raised, you know, like, I've always had a football jersey on my baby pictures, always had a football jersey on my my dad played college football, you know, he played at the junior college level too. It's just how I was raised, you know, I was taught, you know, like I was always wrestling with my brother. Like me and my brother, we didn't play with toys. We just fought each other when we were little kids. It's just how I was raised, just to be aggressive. Like, I mean, I don't like punch people just for fun.
Sure.
But like, I was just raised to be aggressive. But you know, I just love it. It's just the way I was raised. It just makes me happy. It's just what I do.
And a lot of guys who play like that in the football field are gentle giants off of it. Would you describe yourself that way?
I think so. Like, you know, like when I make a tackle, I don't go down and like flex on them or anything like that. You know, I'll put my hand up. Because in between whistles, I hate you. But after, I mean, we're all here for the love of the game. We all love football. You know, we're all human beings. So I'll put my hand down, you know, help them up. But like, you know, I'm not gonna like. I don't know. I feel like I'm a pretty nice guy off the field.
Yeah, no, you play the game the right way, and I think teammates and opponents would respect that. Coach, you got City College of San Francisco this week, right? Kind of an old nemesis for you. Although you guys did beat them last year, you snapped a 9-game losing streak to a team that's been a perennial power.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, I love to bring these things up for you. I just want to remind you, you know, motivate you, Coach. But now you're heading to San Francisco this weekend, 2 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. Again, you can listen to the broadcast on 940 Kino with me on the call on Saturday. A unique setting there. And I think Jack, I don't know if Jack's ever been there before, but what have you told the guys about what to expect there?
Nothing yet. We'll talk about it today. But, yeah, it's a tough environment to play. I think it's a pretty cool environment, but, you know, big stands on one side, nothing behind you on the other side. Very similar to San Mateo's stadium, and it just has a different feel. It's right in the city, and you know, it's a big campus. It's on a hill. You know, all those types of things, and let alone there's a pretty good football team on the other side of the field that you got to play against, and we got to prepare for because they're significantly better this year than they were last year, and it's going to be a test.
Yeah, if you've never seen a game at either San Mateo or City College of San Francisco, and you have the opportunity to go check it out, maybe you're a Ram fan, and I would go because it is a really unique, interesting setting for a football game. You have a view of the entire city and the bay from one side of the field. It's pretty cool. It really is pretty cool. The other thing that's not so cool for announcers this week always, and this is now my 5th year doing Fresno City, is that they're both City College and they're both the Rams. Right. So it's hard for an announcer, right?
Both
because
red.
Yeah, because they both wearing red, right? And so I find myself always saying the Rams from the Central Valley or the Rams from San Francisco, right? One way or another, the Rams are going to win on Saturday, but let's hope it's the ones from the Central Valley. City College of San Francisco coming in at 1-2 this season. Had a coaching change before last year, right? So they're kind of regrouping under a new leader there. What do you see out of them, Coach?
I think they upgraded. They won a close game down in Visalia, and they didn't play real good last week against Butte up there. That's a tough early game for those kids to go up and play. But you put on the film, and they got Division I players almost at every position, and they're getting their bearings. I think it'll be a good test. If we continue getting better like we've had the last 3 weeks, and worry about ourselves and making sure we play the way we're supposed to play, not beat ourselves, not do things that's going to hurt us, like we did a couple times on Saturday. I think we'll be okay. But it's just about how we play at this point, knowing that we're going in a tough environment. We got to be able to handle that, and stay focused on what we want to do.
Compared to where you guys were at the start of the season, where are you at now? I mean, how much improvement have you seen from your guys?
Oh, exponential. Yeah, much better. We actually woke up in that second quarter at Sierra, which was I think where our team came together. When Christian went in and we got a little spark, and then we fed off each other. We got a turnover in the kicking game, and then we played a great fourth quarter. won that Sierra game. And this game we came out like our teams are expected to do. Come out fast and finish strong. And it's good to see American River's a storied program. I mean, they padded out great and had a lot of great players. But it was just about how we played, and we played very well, and we played aggressive and physical. Still not perfect, still room for growth, but we want to peak at the end of the year for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And Jack, it's probably kind of interesting going to Fresno City College, right? Because of how many different high schools are represented here in the Valley at Fresno City, right? You got Clovis East. I think there's 8 Timberwolves on the roster by my count at least. You got Central, who beat you in the Valley Championship game last year. I don't mean to bring up a bad memory, of course, but you got all these other Valley schools, right? What's that like? I'm just curious. When you show up, right, and you're playing junior college football and you look around and you're like, man, I used to hate that guy when I was playing against him in high school.
I think it's been awesome. It's like a melting pot, because at first, because you don't know it, you don't really know them. You're just like, oh, what's up? How's it going? But I feel like what's great about football is you bond through the toughness, because summer camp, it's not exactly easy. It's hot. Everyone's sweating, working super hard, and you bond through it. You just connect, and as you go through more and more struggles, you get closer and closer as a team. And sure, 6 months ago I hated you. A year ago I hated you, but now you're my brother. We're gonna go through so many tough things together, and it's been awesome. I've made so many friends here at Fresno City. Like when I say they're my brothers, I truly think they're my brothers. It's awesome. I love playing football with them. They're awesome. I love it there.
Jack kind of seems like one of those kids who might eat glass or something like that, right? My dad used to tell me about an old SC player when he was at USC named Tim Rosovich, right? Do you have any kind of interesting, idiosyncrasies, about your toughness in any way?
Well, he flosses with barbed wire.
Well, that's just part of the standard training camp for Fresno City, right? Yeah. No, but you seem like you just kind of grew up, around toughness. Is that a safe way to say it?
I'd say that. My dad raised me that. No hate the soccer players. My dad's like, you don't play soccer. That's for wussies.
Oh shit.
So no hate.
Hopefully, Coach Solberg isn't listening right now, right? Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. No, for sure. But no, yeah, I was really impressed watching you play on Saturday when I was looking at the tape, Jack, and it's such an interesting position. I think defensive tackle, right? What do they say? The 3 technique, right, Coach? Is that for nose guards and defensive tackles, kind of dealing with those centers and guards? I'm just curious, what's going through your mind as you're getting ready for a play? I think there was one play where you kind of knew where the running back was going, it seemed like, before the ball was even snapped, right? Now, they didn't end up giving it to him, but you were going to be in position to make the tackle. Do you kind of, is that film study? I mean, do you have a sense of things? Because when we're fans, we just think you guys are getting ready to just go head on and just pound into the guy in front of you. But is there more thought going into this?
Yeah, it's not like the defensive lineman in a caveman. It's like, I go block. It's as Coach Hawk tells us, well, we have our steps. Okay, so first you get aligned, you get in your alignment, you look at your strike points, and you read the offensive lineman. It's not just go straight. So we read our offensive lineman. And then sometimes once you beat the blockers to get in your position, then you transition your eyes to your backfield. And if I see the running back, if I see the whole line go this way and the running back going this way, I'm going to make the assumption, okay, running back going this way. So I get off the block. But that play you're talking about, no, they didn't. But I still kind of wrapped him up because I thought he had the ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely more. It's not just a brain dead position. You're thinking it's like any other position. You got to read your block, stay in your gap. It's not like you can just run to wherever you want to go because you got to play good for the linebackers behind you, because the linebackers depend on you to stay in your gap because they have their own responsibilities and they have their own pass drop. They have their own things, and they can't worry about defending 2 gaps at once. So you got to make sure you stay in your gap to help your linebackers behind you. So that's kind of
let alone a change in calls too, where you're moving and then the gap exchange and all the different.
There's a lot that goes into playing defensive line.
Happens in a half a second.
Coach,
He said you got to make a decision, right? That decision is made in half a second.
and he reacts quickly. And we talk about running backs, right, with a low center of gravity, sometimes being tough to bring down. kind of seems like that with Jack a little bit, watching him, that he's just tough to get down to the ground. You know, that how would you describe that for him as like a defensive lineman, where he kind of seems to have this incredible balance, I think, when he's engaging with a lineman?
Yeah, he's definitely a knee bender. He's got really strong hands, but you know, he's just quick. That's what he is. I mean, he has a natural strength. Coach Scheidt likes to say he's like rebar in his back. You know, he's just really strong. Plays with a good flat back, but his quickness is the hardest thing, because once he engages, once he sees, he's gone. And you know, we have to really take. If we played against Jack, we'd have to probably put 2 guys on him to block him. When I recruit football players, you know, I don't check boxes in the sense, you know, height, weight. You know, I find the guys that actually make the tackles. I don't care if they're not big or not or too skinny or whatever. Productive football players are recruited at our level. Just because you look really good and you know, your height and weight is what you need. If you're around the ball and not making tackles, then we'll take note. So, you know, he's very productive, and I thought that football team last year at Clovis East was a dominant football
Absolutely.
team. I thought they did a lot of things. They were well coached, and it was they were a fun team to watch.
Yeah, I think you know, Coach, the offense got a lot of the headlines last year at Clovis East, Jack, you know, but I think that defense was a little bit, you know, underrated. I mean, you got to have a heck of a defense to go 5-0 in the track like you guys did last year and win, you know, a league title in one of the toughest leagues in the state. So tell me about the journey to Fresno City. Did you have any other interest from other schools, or did you kind of know early on, yep, I think Fresno City's the path I want to take?
Like, when I first, figured I was going to go the JUCO route, I was pretty dead set on Fresno City. Because I've heard lots of great things from them. They were close in town. I've heard great things about the coaches. And, I mean, sure, some other coaches would be like, oh, we think you should do great here. But I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm good with Fresno City, because I've met with the coaches. I've seen some of their games. I know their reputation. And it's truly just a great program. Why wouldn't I want to go anywhere else when I have such a great program right here in town? It just didn't make any sense. And I'm like, that's perfect. And definitely a perfect decision in my opinion. Yes, sir.
I imagine the dream is to continue on playing football at the 4-year level.
That's the goal, yes, sir.
Fresno State, you listening out there? You grew up a Bulldog fan, right, Coach? Yeah. You know, you brought up something earlier that I just wanted to ask you about. And Coach mentioned you thinking you played offense, right? You got your hand on a ball, I think a deflection in that game, you know, on Saturday against American River. I believe you had one pass deflection, I think, on the quarterback.
No.
Maybe I forgot. Maybe it was somebody else. But
no, I had a few QB hits. I'd hit him, but I never jumped up and smacked down the ball or anything. I wish though.
How big a dream is that though? To make an interception or to pick up a fumble and be a big man rumbling down the field.
Oh my gosh, I imagine every game. Before every game, I'm imagine I get a sack with a forced fumble and then I pick up, or I read a screen.
Sack, forced fumble, touchdown. That's the number
That's
one
the dream right there.
Yep. Sack, forced fumble, touchdown.
Before every game, I'm imagining oh, that would be so awesome. You know, I'm thinking the celebration, my touchdown celebration. You know, I'm imagining it. But I mean, it hasn't happened yet. But I still haven't gave up yet. I still haven't give up on it.
You know, Coach, you told me that Elijah Williams, another defensive tackle, plays basically the same position that Jack does, right? Although you guys are out there at the same time, you know, a lot of the time. That you think he might be the best defensive lineman at the JUCO level in the state of California. So you got some talent up front. That's got to give Coach Scheidt some confidence, your defensive coordinator.
Yeah. And we've been really good up front for about 4 years now. Elijah's a completely different player than Jack, but they complement each other, and with those two guys in the game at the same time, it's not easy to block.
Jack, what are you looking forward to about the trip to San Francisco? I mean, I don't know if you know anything about the stadium, but it's kind of cool, right? To get an opportunity to compete in a new venue like that. You're going to see some new venues this year.
Yes, sir. I'm really excited. I've never been to San Francisco Stadium, but one of the most underrated things about away games is I like the ride there personally. We're in the bus with the whole team. I got a little lunchbox. I carry some snacks in, some protein bars. And I think it's a lot of fun. I'm just listening to music, getting ready for the game. And I think it's a lot of fun. I get there, I get to explore new places. Get to explore the locker rooms, get to explore just the campus, the stadium. And I think, like, I mean, obviously I'd rather play at home, but at the same time, the away games are always a lot of fun, in my opinion. I always have a great time. You know, I enjoy visiting new places. You know, I like the ocean. You know, hopefully it's not like 105 like it is here sometimes. You know, like hopefully it's like
No, it's gonna be cold.
That's my favorite. So I'm excited.
Yeah, 2 p.m. start. What are you studying at Fresno City?
I'm undecided right now because I'm still unsure about my future. So I was just planning on getting my gen ed out of the way for now.
Okay,
Yes,
nice. Kind of fun question for you. Is there something maybe that you haven't done in life that you want to do, like a bucket list thing that's still kind of hanging out there, either on the football field or off of it?
You know, I know it's kind of a boring answer, but I kind of wanted to try skydiving at least once in my life. I know, like I'm not like I
It's
know
a
I
common
say,
theme. Yeah.
I know I say like I'm not actually, believe it or not, I'm not even like good at roller coasters. Like there's some like I can do most of them, but like you know, like ironically I can't do the drop ones, like the ones that like drop.
Yeah.
I can't do those ones, but I want to. I think it'd be so cool to jump off a plane to see like the land. Like you know, when you're in your airplane, you're flying over like the Central Valley, you see like the squares of like the farms and stuff.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that'd be a lot of fun just to see that and just land in like I don't know, some random field somewhere. I don't even know. I think it would be so much fun though.
Coach, this makes me feel good to know that I've been on some of those drop roller coasters, to know that Jack is a little timid about going on those and that I have gone on them. That makes me feel good about myself because I consider him Mr. Toughness, right, over here. By the way, my family and I went to Great America for the first time. I don't know if you've ever been there or not. It's over by the 49ers Stadium, but that has some legitimate roller coasters there. Oh yeah, and I think it's closing. So if you better get out there soon if you want to experience
I want no part of any roller coaster.
The season in itself is a little bit of a roller coaster, right,
Yes,
Coach?
right,
Always.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Well, as we start to wrap this thing up, Coach, just I guess a quick thought on this weekend's game at City College of San Francisco and kind of what it means for this Ram program. What would it mean to get a win in this game, and go 3-1 on the season?
Yeah, we mean a lot. The progress we've made so far is really a positive right now. We need to continue to grow as a team and eliminate some mistakes and play some dominant football. And we're gonna get tested up in San Francisco, and it's a very tough place to win. And they're a good football team. But if we play the way we're capable of playing and take care of ourselves, then I think we'll be okay. And that's going to be the focus this week. It's just how we play, more important than anything else. And then get back on that bus, like Jack said, and come on home.
Yeah, hopefully I'm talking to you afterwards after a win. Although Coach is always gracious, either way, win or lose, with his time. Again, it's Fresno City at City College of San Francisco, 2 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. You can catch the game on 940 Kino on Saturday, starting at 1:40 p.m. Myself and former Ram linebacker and FCC Wall of Famer Shannon Pulliam will be on the call of that game. And just a reminder, you can catch the Fresno City Football Report each and every week during the football season right here on the KC24 CBS 47 Plus app. Jack, what'd you think? What'd you think of this experience?
I thought it was a lot of fun. It was I'm definitely a little bit nervous at first, but it's been my second interview. I went on the Paul Meters one last year, but this is totally different, and it's been a great experience. Like I said, it's my second interview, but I was really nervous, but it was a lot of fun. I feel like I got to answer some things that like I didn't even think about personally. Like I didn't even think about myself. I was like, oh, like actually, like yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like so, yeah, it was a great experience.
Coach, we got him thinking. We got the big defensive lineman thinking here today. Yeah,
I'm worried about that a little bit.
Well, Jack, I really appreciate you coming by. Keep up the great play this season, Coach. As always, thanks for swinging by, and that will do it for another edition of the Fresno City Football Report. Thanks for watching.